Hello and welcome to the All Around Attributed RN channel, where I'm passionate about helping victims of all ages and all genders overcome the fear of facing the abuse to become survivors. And I'm just excited because I'm just blessed to be here today, still here in my right mind, and I'm excited to be focused on truth, justice, and the American way. For those of you who don't know me, I am 52 years old, a proud Gen Xer, and the proud mother of 3 adult children, 2 XY chromosomes, and 1 XX. And I'm just super duper excited to be 30 years in the nursing game, representing math and science, which is truth and justice, and the American way. And I'm excited that we are bringing it to everyone's attention, including this government, that we are here to stay and our voices will be heard, and we will always be focused on truth with math and science. No delusional thinking. Like I've said before, for those of you who've been following me for a good little minute here, we started our journey here under the umbrella of just getting justice for Shanquella Robinson many months ago. We are approaching an anniversary here, year anniversary. Welcome, y'all. Come on in here. Please hit the like button on your way in here. Please hit the like button on your way in here. We're coming up, approaching an anniversary to this, to something that was so shocking and provocative and on video, captured on video, where we saw this in the live flesh. And who would have imagined that, 8 or 9 months later, so many months later, we are in the same boat. And actually, they're trying to put us in a condition that steps backwards because people have forgotten. Folks have forgotten what happened. People didn't forget because they, spent us around. Most of us dizzy, don't even know what's going on. And, now they fed us all these different bologna sandwiches, and we got belly aches. We got problems happening here because we have been trying to digest this crap. So I'm just excited because it hasn't been working over here. Even though they've been trying to douse the fire on this, that in the memory of Shanquella Robinson, we over here been keeping it hot. We've been keeping it hot, and they've been trying their best to douse the fire. Douse the fire, so this could be out of mind, out of sight, and Shanquilla could become another statistic, just someone waiting, a hashtag that never, manifested anything. So I'm just grateful that, if nothing else, we've been standing here, still doing it, even though it's been rough. It's been some been some rough moments on it. It's been some rough moments, some moments that where you feel like you're tired. You are tired of it. I know that some of y'all have reached out, said how, tired, and this has been draining, and, taking a lot out of folks. And I'm just grateful that, we've been able to kind of, recycle our energy by uplifting one another. And we still here, standing, demanding justice for Shanquella Robinson. Standing, demanding justice for Shanquella Robinson all these months later. All right. Thank y'all so much for coming in here too. And then I'm just grateful too. I see some of these names, that's been from way back in the day. Back in the day, still hanging, still people want the justice, even though like the enemy will try to put it out there like, y'all need to just go on and just let this die out like nothing's going on, and to discourage people from coming together and still, seeking this justice and stuff like that. Just getting us weary in well doing, right? So again, let us not be weary in well doing, because something's happening here. Something's happening here, and we making the enemy nervous. We need to keep on it, right? Like in the little MMA, when they get the person down, that's when they jump on them and they just start clobbering them. It's always like, hey, okay, enough, somebody stop the fight. But this is just how it has to be done. I know it looks cruel, but this is what's needed when you are, in it to win it. And that's what we are. So Ernie Williams, that name from way back in the day, is still here, demanding justice for Shanquilla. So yes, and that's what this kind of an impromptu moment here. I looked on the internet today to see if there had been some new news, because it's been a couple of weeks since I've said anything, about Shanquella Robinson. For those of y'all who don't know, Shanquella Robinson was a 25-year-old Black woman from North Carolina who went on a vacay with some acquaintance, and her murder was videotaped, and then there were some issues because it was done in another country, Mexico. So we were learning a lot of things back in the day. Like, a lot of us wasn't aware of all this stuff. At least I know I wasn't, to the extent that Mexico was giving these alibis, these false statements, police reports stating that victims had been passing away from alcohol poison, and it wasn't the case at all. And the good thing is that when this happened to Shanquilla, and they were going to use the same cookie cutter excuse of the alcohol poison, it would have worked just like it had worked in the past when they've done this before, had there not been a video. And not only that it had not been a video, because we had learned later too, at least I did when I went to Washington, D.C. on May 19th for a rally that was a handful of people there, seeking justice for Shanquella Robinson. And learned then that the FBI had already seen and knew about this video before we people had saw it. So there were a lot of learning things that was happening, a lot of new stuff that I was becoming aware of, and I didn't like it. I did not like it at all, especially being a middle-aged woman. I wasn't part of any of this stuff. I didn't get involved with it because I didn't feel like it affected me. So, I was all about living my life until in late November, when I saw the video of Shanquella Robinson being brutally beaten, and we see her receiving a deadly injury on the video. That was the first time that something like this has ever happened to me, where I started to speak out, and I haven't stopped. I haven't been able to stop, even though there's been plenty of times when I've thought that I had said all I could say, done all I could do, and time to move on. The spirit of God is, it comes, and it's just not the case. So I just go with what the spirit is leading and telling me to do. Tina Marie, hey, Tina Marie said, hello, nice to see you. It is nice to see you too. Thank you, Tina Marie, for being a viewer from way back in the day. I appreciate it. And too, I learned a lot too, as far as like seeing how when the enemy really is trying to, wreak havoc, as far as like all the crazy stuff that's happening, and to get people to be quiet and not ashamed of, believing in the word, and all that good stuff. What's up, JP6? JP6 says, what's up, everybody? RN, what's new? Yeah, what's new is absolutely, there's nothing new. Like I said, I looked, y'all. I checked to see what the new news was, and there was no new news. After the FBI delivered their message of, it's not enough evidence for us, we're not going to file any charges, I have yet to see something new. I haven't seen anything new. There's nothing new. Nothing new. Nothing new. Nothing new. So, 80s baby. What's up, 80s baby? 80s baby says, hey, all around the world, natural beauty are in mods and chat. Peace and blessings to everyone. Yeah. And what I'm excited about is that so many people are still like bothered by this. Like, just from seeing it, and what I learned, was that we have to continue to talk about, we can't like hide and all that stuff. Like I said, over here, we don't do moments of silence. We do moments of speaking. We speak out the names of victims and the abusers, because, we have really been conditioned here to, keep the secrets of abusers. We keep these secrets and allow these abusers to continue to get away with abuse and stuff, right? Because that's just how it is. And so that's why it's time to do something different. Do something different. And speaking out is what we're doing. What's up? Denethia Jones says, oh, a hand wave, a beautiful pink hand wave up there. And all around natural beauty, justice for Shanquella Robinson. Yep. All right. What's up, Kyronia? All right. Nice to see everybody. See, Tina Marie says, that's what they trying to do. Have us forget that nothing's going to happen. Yep. And two, what I found, I was talking to my hairdresser the other day. Please still call them that. But anyway, she, didn't really remember, needed to see the attack again. And I know that that's probably part of the reason why they tried to make everybody like, oh, you can't play it and all this stuff. So we could start to lose the visuals of it. And in the past, that kind of stuff used to happen because, once the news stopped playing something or stopped broadcasting something, there was no more, visual stuff. And then it's easy to lose the truth because, it's just not being shown or out there anymore. So what I wanted to do today was, because, like I said, I started talking about this back in November the 26th to be precise. And I'm just looking today, as a matter of fact, I kind of went back over, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to play one of those old videos. And, we had a lot of knowledge and a lot of information there. And then they started to withdraw it and then kind of deter us and lead us down these different rabbit holes. And if we didn't go back to revisit the truth, which, we had a lot of that information in the beginning, it's easy to lose sight of it. And in one of these videos, we actually read the Wikipedia, and that this case hasn't even been a year yet I've noted like at least 3 different Wikipedia versions. Like they keep, adding more information in there. So it just kind of makes me not believe too much in this whole Wikipedia situation and stuff. You know what I mean? I feel like that they're really promoting some bologna sandwiches. Some bologna sandwiches up in there. I'm just excited, y'all. I feel like God is really doing it like this just to show the power, because like now look how Look how tiny everything is, right? Yet people still want to hear about it. That's how I know that they really trying to pour water on it to douse the fire on this. But the spirit, the beautiful spirit of Shanquella Robinson that, was sacrificed for all of us to be able to see this big change in our lifetime, it's not going to be in vain. It's not going to be in vain. It's not going to be in vain. So, yeah, I agree with you, Tina. JP6 says Shanquilla will get justice one way or another. And that's the other reason why I'm saying that, this here, if they don't do anything about this, this is a horrible situation, because it's just encourages this wickedness to continue on, because you can see that there is no, price to pay for, being wicked. What's up, Tansis? Tansis says justice for Shanquilla. Yes, and lots of love, lots of hearts there. Yeah. And from what I can tell, a lot of times, like, I'll just hear that voice trying to say, man, people about ready to move on. Nobody is thinking about this. And, folks is moving on. Like, this is all, it's in the past, right? And then I remember when we first started talking that there would be a few people that would come into the chat and leave a message saying, this is going to be just like the Tanika Jenkins case. Oh, there's not going to, not in a mean way, but in a kind of like, well, these kind of things happen all the time, and there's never been any justice, so there's not going to be any here either. So I just really still feel like this is an opportunity for all of us really to come together, and like I said before in the past, under the umbrella for justice for Shanquilla, we'll be able to leverage that and go back and recover and retrieve justice for folks in the past. And then along this journey, we've seen how it's not just the women who are victims, that there are also men victims too, and how it seems like the law is on the side of the wicked people, and good people are the ones that's being, detained unnecessarily. We saw, I think, I can't think of the guy's name, but the one ex-football player where the the girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or the lady he was fooling around with, got jealous and upset and sent the people to shoot the house up, and end up, the dude had his own strap and, put in, protect his family, was in jail being detained, for 2 years while this case took place, when it was obvious that here this woman was really, the issue, was really the, problem and stuff. So to me, it just shows how it's just like with this whole Shanquilla thing, where we see who the guilty people are, and, it's right there. However, nothing's happening there. And the law is turning a blind eye to, wickedness, right? But I guess, that's part of the scriptures and stuff too, where it's supposed to happen, having these things happen. Anyway, so let's just see. One thing I want to say is that, along this journey too, we were reading Iyanla Vanzant, Acts of Faith, and recently I've heard some, YouTubers speaking some things about Iyanla, and I heard it, and I didn't want to address it because I was like, yeah, I've been saying so many good things about her, and, promoting this book, and a lot of people actually ordered the book and all this stuff. Book is copywritten back in 1995. Back in the 90s, Iyanla wrote a lot of books, self-help books, really good books and stuff like that. However, there's some stuff happening that's recent now that is showing that Iyanla is a human being. So what I say when people, ask about things like that, what people are doing or people point the finger, according to the scriptures, judge not so that ye shall not be judged. And also the scripture clearly states that he who is without sin shall cast the first stone. So all I'm saying is that, that still does not negate the fact that this is a very powerful book, some very good words, and we should send up prayers for Iyanla to get reconnected with her higher self, which clearly she's done before in the past, right? And this to me shows that, all have sinned and have come short, right? We're not perfect. No one is. No one is. And when you're sitting here judging people for some, doing something that's not right or something like that, it's coming back to you. Nobody's perfect. Nobody, right? That's why we ain't supposed to be judging, right? And that's why he who is without sin cast first stone. So nobody is perfect. So all that good stuff. Anyway, all that to say is that I'm going to continue to read and promote the Acts of Faith written by Iyanla Vanzant, regardless of what Iyanla has done, is doing, or any of those things. These are good words here. And like I said, Iyanla is human. And my thing is this: we should be supporting her growth because, somebody's got to be the prodigal child. Somebody's got to be the prodigal child. And I'm grateful that I'm a prodigal child, right? Everybody, right? And that's why we thank God for grace, right? Because that's what's going to get it for all of us. Nobody's getting a ticket on their good behavior, right? Right? And anyway, so let's see here. Today is June 17th. June 17th. Dang. Hey, y'all looking so beautiful over there. I love y'all. And, we need to be coming together to love so we can heal the earth by healing ourselves first. Like I said, when you get on the plane, they always tell you to put your oxygen mask on first before you try to help the person next to you. And that's because if you are bobbling around over here trying to help somebody else, and that's like, you trying to tell somebody else how to live their life and what to do and all this good stuff, that's you trying to help them put on their oxygen. You be putting yours on first so you could help them out, because without it, you're going to pass out, and they was counting on you to help them. You couldn't do it because you was too busy being the busybody trying to help somebody else out. Do you first, right? You got to be the most important person to you has got to be you. All right. So today is June 17th, and our Acts of Faith daily meditation for people of color. We know it's a good meditation book for all people, right? Because those are other distractions too. Anyway, we'll get into that another thing. June 17th, it says, do not follow the path. Go where there is no path to begin the trail. And that's an Ashanti proverb. That's very interesting. I like that. All right, I'm going to say it one more time. Let me say it one more again. It says, do not follow the path. Go where there is no path to begin the trail. That's an Ashanti proverb. And Iyanla says, it takes courage, strength, and conviction to go against the grain. Wow. But if someone hadn't done it, we wouldn't have wheat bread, chocolate chip ice cream, or radios in our cars. It is often difficult to get other people to follow your train of thought. Stop trying. It's your train. You are the engineer and the conductor. We usually want and need help, support, and comfort when we are doing something new. If we do not get it, so what? Does it mean we should stop what we're doing? Absolutely not. The path to success is paved with road signs, warning symbols, and obstructions. But when you start a new trail equipped with courage, strength, and conviction, the only thing that can stop you is you. I am a trailblazer. Yes. All right. So that is good there. And two, I'm excited to be a trailblazer. I'm excited to be a trailblazer. That's right. We blazing these trails up in here. JP6 says, I'm still angry about Travis Root Randolph case. Yeah, I feel you on that. I wonder what else is going on too. And these are more clues. Like, look at how the wicked people is getting away with stuff. Right? Right? Yeah, she ain't no different from the basketball. I mean, people do this kind of stuff all the time. Is what I'm saying, y'all. Is the spirit is not just on the men to do the evil things to women. There's women out there like that too. That's why you got to be aware of that. You can't just be like, oh, it's all men are bad, all women are good, right? It's not that way. And two, to talk to the men out there that think that all women are bad and all men are good, it's not, right? It's this wicked spirit can dwell in any gender, X, Y, or XX, right? Wicked. JP6 says the wrong person was arrested and on trial. I agree with you. I do agree with you. All right, so we're gonna go back. we're gonna go back and we're gonna go back and we're gonna see from the very beginning. And pick out some clues here, y'all. Let me see what y'all talking about. JP says a black man is always guilty until proven innocent. Hey, Holly Favor. Holly Favor says hello to everyone. All right. Good to see you too, Holly Favor. Says hello, RN. All right. Y'all, what's going on? Hey, what's up, Betty? Betty is doing some greetings up in here too. And everyone in the chat, how are you all doing today? Yes, I'm doing good today, y'all. I'm doing really good. I'm doing real good. I'll probably tell y'all about it a little bit later. Hey, Jamie, she says, hey, beautiful, good to see you. Yes, I'm happy to see all y'all good people and stuff too. So we're going to go back to the beginning and keep on encouraging people not to forget this, right? Not to forget this, not to forget Shanquella Robinson, what happened, and on the video and all that good stuff, right? So, all right, so we're going to go back to, I want to play. Not the long 9-hour one, but like the ones right after that, and listen to what was being said. Okay, I'm trying to find one that see here. Let's go a good one here. All right, so we're gonna check some dates here, and let me see here what's happening on this one. One of these, yeah, I think I'm gonna go for this one here. This here, yeah, this was gonna be a very interesting one here. So we're gonna be able to talk, and let's see here. Start about right here. All right, so let's see here with the sharing of the screen. We're going back to the beginning before the folks knew what lies that need to be told. All right, and as long as we continue to stick to the facts and all that good stuff, we should be fine. This thing, I'm already talking. Anybody, with any science or medical experience, would know that that's fake, that after a spinal cord injury, you're not able to breathe, and it's impossible for you to have been around for 3 hours after sustaining the injury that the autopsy report. All right. So this here is dated November the 26th. Oh, so I must have started the thing before then. All right. So November 26th, and let's see here. November 26th, and the thing says, RN says Shanquella Robinson police reports are lies. So back November 26th, we was already knowing that these were lies right there. Right there, y'all. We was already knowing. Or stated. So these were ways that we were ruling out the false lies that they were speaking about on the Shanquella Robinson case. That they came up with. The story was afterwards, after the police, not after the autopsy report came through. It's when all these new lies came out to try to paint the picture for this new story that they were going to be talking about, telling of how this all went down. So I'm going to take another moment to shout out some names of some of my new subscribers, because I was really touched in that everyone is feeling this empathy for Miss Shanquilla. Okay, and there's some new comments too here. But a special shout out to M Mac, and I want to read the comment here. It says, "Awesome live. Became a subscriber yesterday. Loved your insight, patience, empathy, and yes, you're fine." Thank you very much, M Mac. Okay, look here. So, okay, I'm gonna be scooted up to some of these things here. Now, it's some of these messages is pretty deep too, because when things changed, people started changing what they were saying in these comments and stuff according to some of the stuff that's being revealed. So that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of stuff back here in this past here. And you're 100%. I don't even know. I'm gonna move it up some. So some weirdo or wacko, saying that all this stuff. And then for the most part, most people who saw the video, they still felt like they saw when the thing happened. So again, we can listen to that. I just wanted to take that time to say that because it really touched my heart, and I've been super emotional about this for the last few days because it's I feel like I'm being heard. A lot of times, like I said before, women, we rarely are heard. We get overlooked, and no one's really listening out for us and stuff like that. So I'm just proud to be an older woman here and able to impart some knowledge and help the people out. So without further ado, we're going to start off with, maybe I should probably try, I'm going to just read the new thing here. And also too, there was some updates. So I'm going to just start off with that. It's going to take a peek at the front page and see here. Absolutely listening. Salute. Thank you, M Mac. All right. I appreciate that. Happy birthday. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a moment to shout out happy birthday to Betty Yellock, because I've been seeing your name here for months on there. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Betty. Happy birthday to you. And we got Karanya. Everybody saying happy birthday. Look at that. All these birthday wishes and many more. Okay, here we go. So just to see like the random stuff that's going on, she is still front page news. Front page is a term back from the olden days when we had newspapers and stuff, right? I wonder, do they still make newspapers? Probably not. All right, so let me go over here to this here. What is this? No, that's me. Get out of this. They went from front page news. Front page news to nothing. And we're just gonna, take a random look and see what is happening here. Oh, okay. So yeah, this is gonna be a pretty well, I don't know. What time is it? Yeah, okay. So other people were talking about, they're clearing up these lies, and there's still this going back and forth talk about the trans possibility of these trans and all that stuff, which is kind of a okay. So I'll see how the T people been part of this whole thing since the beginning, right? Yeah, since the beginning. Rabbit hole subject that we really don't want to go down. So, y'all can see I didn't even never want to do it. Little video we'll share. This is from Good Morning America. We'll see what they got to say. Get this queued up. Wait, pause. And yeah, y'all let me know. I'm gonna go through it with y'all. So here, present, share the screen. Okay, people, let's see what they saying here. Keep it. I haven't seen this. I just picked this up. It's just random. It's only like 2 minutes and some change. At a luxury resort, they're looking to extradite the suspect. Oh, that's right. It's gonna be a low. Can y'all hear that? Put a warning low. We skip on through there. This was back in my earlier days when I wasn't as gifted as I am today, doing these here lives and stuff. Working and all that stuff, and then I'm gonna read that for you in a second. But I also want to read the thing on there too. This was the news. Ooh, look at there. All right, so I'm gonna just do commentary while this thing is playing, because yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. Here we go. Okay, people, let's see what they saying here. Keep it. So this here is saying that Mexico seeks to extradite U.S. woman. Prosecutors file charges in death of fellow American tourists. So this first sentence, Mexico seeks to extradite. All right, so is this Mexico's prosecutors? Right? Because during this time is when we were told that U.S. prosecutors actually picked up the case. So let's see here. I haven't seen this. I just picked this up. It's just random. It's only like 2 minutes and some change. At a luxury resort, they're looking to extradite the suspect. So they're just saying they're looking to extradite. Can y'all hear that? Put a one in the chat. Don't put a one in the chat. I know. Agencies reach joins us with more as that woman still hasn't been named. Serene, good morning. And they never named. Hey, good morning, Janae. A 25-year-old went down to Mexico with some friends to celebrate someone's birthday. All right, so let me see. They're gonna talk about the fake doctor's report in a second. I'm gonna scoot up some. Like how that works. Should they have taken their passports when they returned back? Like how were they able, to get out of the country? Like this is starting to get a little bit weird. You see, Juanita Newby. Wow. Even at that time, it was sounding weird because now when we fast forward, knowing what we know today, that the FBI had already seen the video and stuff prior to us seeing it. So this here, to me, is the reason why I don't believe the story about Mexico, all this prosecution stuff that they were saying, because in the beginning, they were saying that they ruled out any type of foul play. So then who were the new people that decided they were going to be prosecuted and seeking extradition? Like, where did that come from when the original story was, hey, ain't nothing to see over here, right? This is how we know they was toying with us, y'all. Yes, because you can see she kneed her in the back and kicked her in the face. Yes, I saw that too. And that was already after she was plopped down, paralyzed on the floor. So them yelling at her to get up, to me, it was like they realized, because when you see that, like I was saying before, when you see somebody pass away, expire, it's not a, it's a feeling, like it's scary, right? So when you know that you're responsible for it, you may like try to insist that the person. Betty says, step up, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Yeah, you talking to the wrong people. They part of the sit down crew on this. Part of the shutting us down crew. Joe Biden does not care about black people. That's JP6 said. Yeah, I agree with you. Tansy says at Betty, Betty Biden has to wake up first, and Kamala has to get up. Y'all telling the truth over here. Y'all telling the truth. And like, hey, get up. Like, you want to try to make it seem like, they can get up. And you don't want to take responsibility that you are the cause for them not being able to get up. And that shows to me how. We're going to move here because there's an article. Because, they're trying to hide somewhere, trying to find a big rock to hide under. And see, Just JTV says, yes, all of them were suspended and revoked. Okay. That's good then. That's good. Let's see here. LOL. Okay, yeah. We were. I guess we were all. I know I was. I was thinking that they were talking about here left the country. Thank you so much for clearing that up. Wow, that was extremely interesting there. So I do have a news report All
that's
right.
reading off this little fake.
Pay attention to this one.
Police report. It just gets interesting here. So let's go ahead. We're gonna take a read on that and see what's going on here.
Yeah.
Pick out some more lies. All right. So
okay, so let's see who this even is from. News One. Who is that? News One. News One says police report reveals Shanquella Robinson spent 3 hours with a doctor before she died. And this article is dated November the 22nd. Anybody heard of this News One? Just looking back on a lot of this stuff, like I said, I was new to this whole thing, so who knows? Maybe this is not even a reputable source. Let's see what they're saying. But anyway, they already talking about the police report, so we can already know that is.
We have here, police report reveals Shanquella Robinson spent 3 hours with a doctor before she passed, before she expired.
And again, remember how I was explaining to you that a doctor, when has anybody ever known a physician to spend 3 hours with a patient? Physicians are not likely to spend more than, 8 to 12 minutes with the patient because they're seeing multiple people. And that's not how they operate by rendering care. They make the diagnosis and the orders, and then nurses follow out with the care. Doctors aren't spending 3 hours with the patient, not alone. No way. There's no way. There's no way. That's how you can tell these are lies, right? And the big clues, police report, right?
All right. So even in this little part right here, police report, right? Police report. There's your clue right there, right? So this here is a distraction because
now y'all can see I'm sounding exactly the same today as I was sounding 6 months ago, right? Because I'm saying the same thing, because stick to math and science, right? When you stick to the facts and the truth, then the truth doesn't change. The truth is always the same, right? So I'm just laughing because I'm saying this today, how I'm feeling, and then when I press the play, I just say the same thing, right?
Because the medical autopsy report says something different. So they put here police report. Why would we believe the police? What their report said, that has nothing. When has the police report have anything to do with the time and cause of expiration? Right? That's fake right there. So we don't even have to, we going to, but we don't even have to read any further right here. Police report reveals the doctor spent 3 hours, right? So most of us have been to the doctor, right? When have you ever known a doctor to spend 3 hours working with you, spending 3 hours with you, right? When has anybody ever experienced that? That'll be a no, because doctors don't do that. And then the other thing too is that
you're welcome.
As a medical professional, there's never a time that you want to be the only one when somebody is not doing well, when someone's crashing. You want to call and get as many people as possible. So I know that that's fake, because the doctor would have went on and called 911 or, whatever medical emergency services that they have there, and not be, because nobody wants the person to go on them, right? You don't want that. You want them to go someplace else, like in the hospital.
And not only that, y'all, think about it. The average person, even if you like a workoutaholic, you most people aren't spending 3 hours in the gym. Even if you like going in there, you hitting it hard, 3 hours, right? And CPR is something that once you start, you can't stop. So you mean to tell me that for 3 hours consistently, you were rendering CPR, and at no time did anyone think to call for backup, right? So if that's true, that means that they were negligent. If this is a true statement, that means that the medical professional who spent 3 hours working with the patient outside of the hospital setting was being negligent, was not practicing properly, right? Because unless they were stranded with no way to use a cell phone, why are you rendering care in the field for 3 hours, right? So boom, that's lie right there. The other thing is, how did they have 3 hours worth of supplies, right? They weren't medical, emergency medical response. So where did you get where did you get the 14 rounds of CPR drugs? Huh? Where'd you get it? Where? Right? And two, to have 3 hours worth, right? 3 hours worth, right?
Those, like you don't pass in surgery. They won't. They'll pump you up, and do CPR to get you to the ICU, and then so you can go there, because
we call it the pump and dump. You just load them up with bicarb. Keep pushing a lot of bicarb. Push that bicarb in the vein and the epinephrine, and you do the thing, and then you get them to the ICU, and then let them go there, because it just don't look, especially you don't die in surgery.
I guess for like liabilities and certain, things like that, nobody goes in surgery. I worked in surgery and had one person, that, expired, but they didn't even make it to the table. The person had got shot like 11 times, and, they didn't even make it to the table. We got them there, and before we could even transfer them to the table, they were gone. And that was the only time. Other than that, we gonna patch you up and get you to the ICU so you can go there, because nobody want to fill out all of that paperwork. So why would a doctor risk their license rendering care to a person who needed to be moved immediately to emergency because they weren't even responding? So that shows me there that that's more lie, right? With a doctor before she passed away. Okay, so we'll scroll on.
And y'all think about how long 3 hours is. That's a long time. Most surgeries aren't even 3 hours. I'm just saying, listen to how ridiculous it sounds that they worked on Shanquilla for 3 hours, right? Open heart surgery, if it's no complications, don't take that long. It don't. All right, y'all with me?
Down here and see more of the story. But let me see. I'm gonna get these little comments before I get too far behind. Juanita says, but remember, until the Fed for it, so that now all of a sudden they sound like a third grader with the writings. It just didn't sound like I'm
gonna move back some here, see what this comment was. This might be something.
Neck for 3 hours and you did nothing.
Oh, see.
You can't even explain that. So I know that that's fake. Super fake. Yeah. All right. So let's get back here to this here document and see. Let me see here. MX said, yes, it was me. I went to the ER twice. Okay. So they didn't see it the first time, or they tried to give you a little pain medicine, send you home. Because when that happens, you know, that has to be done. Got to get it out of there. Juanita says, you heard what the lead attorney says. The police make $300 a month, and the doctors make about $2,000 a month. Wow. Yeah. But again, okay, so I get that. So say the doctors are looking for money. I believe that they would have at least documented it sounding like a doctor. Just because they're not making that much money, they still had to go to medical school.
Yeah.
You know, they still had to get.
Well, what I mean by this is that just because they're not making that much money, now all of a sudden they're still not going to be idiots. They still had to obtain the knowledge to become doctors. So a doctor would never write that they were doing some work for 3 hours because it's not realistic. That's what I'm saying. Just because they don't make money there, yes, that may put them at a high potential to take a bribe, but if they documented, there's no way that they're going to write something as ridiculous as 14 rounds of CPR. That doesn't even make sense. Like they would write it like a doctor would speak. They would have called it right away. There's no, even in the hospital with a whole team, no one's doing no CPR consistently for no 3 hours. That's never happened. Never happened.
Get the education and stuff for it, so that now all of a sudden they sound like a third grader with the writings. It just didn't sound like what a doctor would say. It sounds more like what the police would say they think the doctors and people would say, right? But not someone who's had all this education. I don't think that. Now I'm not saying that they wouldn't take bribes or something like that, but I would expect that their cover-up story would sound better. Like I would imagine that they would say that the person was deceased on arrival.
Betty Yellick says they said the prosecutors in USA dropped the ball. The prosecutors in USA never even had the ball. They never even had the ball. I feel you.
Like, not try to make up this fake story about, I was there working on them for 3 hours, because, when the person expires, after, when they expire, we try to go in there, get them fixed up before the family get in there. One technique we try to do is maybe put like a towel to tie so they're, the mouth doesn't be open. This painful. You don't want to see your loved one, with the mouth open. So we put a towel to kind of,
we do,
because at one point you're going to freeze up and you don't want the mouth to be stuck, and you had to break the jaw to, close it up. So if they had just been there, all that time, all that stuff would have been set in. Like it's just fake, y'all. It don't happen like what they're saying. There's no way that they spent 3 hours there. And see, Juanita says they didn't sign the death certificate or document the time of death as AM or PM. Let me see if I can find the death certificate.
Oh, okay. Let's see if I found it.
I think the death certificate,
would that be interesting? Let's see. While I'm looking, see. PM Channel says Kamala Harris is not.
Yeah. Let me see.
Is not speaking out on Shanquilla because it does not fit her agenda of race, education, gun control, or corrupt police. For her not to say anything about Shanquilla says a lot about her. Yeah, especially when they were talking so much greatness about, the transgenders, when the one had shot up the school and killed 6 people, supporting them, talking about, they fight back and all this stuff, encouraging this kind of behavior. Yes. Let's see what I'm talking about here.
So maybe that police report. So, we want to make sure that we're distinguishing between the police report and the actual autopsy report. Let's see. Please have it somewhere I can pull up and read.
Hey, Sharon, what's up? My member.
All right, so let me see here. MX says, incredible as it may sound, the first time they removed my gallbladder, somehow I had 3 stones stuck again 2 years later. Wow. So do you think that they just removed
okay.
stuck? Wow. Oh, that's really sad. For joining me here. So okay, we didn't finish this here story on this investigation. And this here is Good Morning America, and it was 9 hours ago, so it's pretty recent. And we're just going to finish up the last little bit of it.
That was the 26th
more news
November.
on what's going on. Present, share, and then we'll finish this up. It's only about another minute or so of it.
Case, but that can be problematic for prosecutors. Janae? So many unanswered questions, Maureen. Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans.
Oh, that's it.
Here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel.
Okay, sorry, y'all. I thought it was the 6 Monsters Walk. Yeah, I agree. Like for and they throw us these little bitty crumbs saying, "Oh, we've issued an arrest warrant, right, for a suspect," and these people have been walking around for more, for a month, like nothing's happened. So I don't know. We were talking about.
So they was trying back then really to like kind of pacify us with this stuff, but because of the internet and the social media and everybody was like on it, they had to come up with more lies and stuff. So this is a glitch here, y'all. This is really a glitch.
This yesterday, as far as like maybe somebody is would have been afraid to speak up since they kind of got away with it. So,
that's what I was thinking.
If you were there and saw it, would you have been brave enough to report it? Because obviously the authorities out here aren't doing anything about it or can't do anything about it.
So that was back then that they weren't doing anything about it, right? Our authorities, when they could have,
but, and then you saw that they got away with it. You saw that they actually paid these the police, and it's working. I don't know. I might be mum's the word here. B. Marie says, I feel because they have just visual evidence of Dejanay and the rest was bystanders. Let's go. So wasn't there like a video of the what was the other girl's name, lady's name? Winter body slamming her.
Wow, this is another video. Now watch this. See here on November the 26th, when the video was out there. Okay, here somebody just asked a random question, and look at me. I this is November 26th. I don't know that they gonna make this say that this ain't true. Listen, let me see what I'm saying.
Because I know when this story first kind of came out, there were more videos, and then like they have been kind of diluted, like where they not showing all of them, and then they try to cut it. They only show like a steel frame of it, so you don't see the actual physical part of it. Let's see here. Sheila K. Hey, Sheila K. Maybe because the investigation continues.
See, that's what I'm saying. When we go back and watch these older videos and stuff like that, now you see, and that's what they trying to get us now to stop playing the videos now, because people done forgot about it, right? They done forgot about it. So here go another video that shows that's proof that at one point they were showing other videos with Winter doing some work up in there too.
Okay, I got you. So, they start off with one, and they don't have enough to get the other ones yet. Yeah. We have to, I guess, be patient too sometimes, and wait for this legal system and stuff like that. And in this one here is a little bit different because it's in another country, and I don't know, poor people. M. Max says, as long as they can ensure that no one can leave the country, yeah, I believe that the person who recorded the fight should be questioned first. Okay, so why you think that? Because they have the least amount to lose? Yeah. B. Marie says, no one saw this so-called video yet. What so-called video? Of the other girl body slamming her?
Yeah. Wow.
B. Marie says, unless the FBI holding it until investigation is complete. Probably so, too. You know, a lot of times they have to have so much on there to make the charges stick. So maybe they're just, taking the time to make sure that they, get all of the evidence that they need to make those charges.
Wow. Let's see here. Highly Favored says, I was reviewing ABC News back in November 2022. Reporter says Shanquilla died 15 minutes after officials' arrival. I think I remember hearing something like that too, Highly Favored.
And it's hard to be waiting, for something to happen. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully that we start getting some justice soon. But we know too here in this country how long it takes to get justice and stuff. It'd be a year later before things happen. So this is still new, it's still early. So let's get back over here and see what else they're talking about. It says, previous story, the death.
All right, so this says MSN. This is from MSN. How did Shanquella Robinson die? Death certificate versus police report breakdown. Let's see what it says.
Certificate from Shanquella Robinson and internal police records from Cabo authorities significantly differ or conflict in several key ways.
Wow.
Robinson, 25, was a Charlotte native who traveled to a resort villa in the San Jose del Cabo, Mexico, with 6 of her friends on October 28th. She expired a day later. What law enforcement officials call a femicide investigation is underway, and the FBI has opened a parallel investigation. The State Attorney's General Office of Baja California announced its investigating Robinson's death as a femicide. Femicide is the M word of a woman.
Wait. So the police was saying something different, and then their officials was actually saying something different. Said that the officials announced their, is that our officials? Because if the police there had said something, wait a minute.
Records from Cabo authorities significantly differ or conflict in several key ways. Robinson, 25, was a Charlotte native who traveled to a resort villa in the San Jose del Cabo, Mexico, with 6 of her friends on October 28th. She expired a day later. What law enforcement officials call a femicide investigation is underway, and the FBI has opened a parallel investigation.
Oh, okay. So the FBI opened a parallel investigation. So all that talk that they were saying like maybe a month or so ago, about the FBI could be working on this here case, according to this, back in November, they had already supposedly opened up the case.
The State Attorney's General Office of Baja California announced its investigating Robinson's death as a femicide. Femicide is the M word of a woman at the hands of a man.
Ooh. Wow. Okay. So here I had already read the definition from this here article, And I just remembered, I'm not sure when later I was, having to um, pull up the definition, but here it was, they already knew about it, right? They said a man.
Or account of her gender.
Wow.
On account of her gender.
Wow.
It is broadly classified as a hate crime. Wow. Uncertainty and questions compounded by the complexity of Robinson's demise in a country far from her home, have been at the center of the mystery and outcry for weeks. Outcry for weeks. Wow. So this here is really interesting there that, they put this definition of the femicide as of a woman at the hands of a man, right? And then there's been all these little rumors and talk about, possible, I don't know. MX says the record is the only one that can negotiate testimony for no or little time. The recorder is the only one that can negotiate testimony for no one or little time. Okay. Truth seeks me. We have tech to search.
I guess that's supposed to be the technology.
Videos
we have
and
technology to search. Search phones remotely. Which in the beginning they were saying that they was going to pull these IP addresses and all that stuff. Why hasn't any of that stuff happened? That didn't take place.
Our government has text that is beyond invasive. It's not about evidence. How long did our government know about Jeffrey Epstein? I agree. Truth seeks me. Would you mind not to write out in the all
don't listen to me.
The fakeness of this here report that they're coming at the hands of a man, right? And they rush off into it. Thank you for your comment, Lavonda. I want to bring this one back up because this is real significant too, because I like, what you're saying here. How long did our government know about Jeffrey Epstein? Yeah.
They know about this video.
And I think that's why they're trying to sell this other story too, because it's better if we could believe that instead of knowing that the government over there has been corrupt all this time, and that there's probably countless bodies that's been dropped off over there, and nobody, has been held accountable for their demise because of all of the undercover crooked stuff that they doing over there, and people getting away with it. Let's see here. B. Marie says 5,000 in US dollars is 96,000 in Mexican currency pesos. I think doctors got paid off. What do you think? They really don't make a lot of money, I heard. Yeah, someone was saying earlier, that they don't make a lot of money. The reason why I don't think that it was a doctor who wrote the report is because of how undoctorly it sounded. Like it didn't even sound like a nurse wrote it. The language, like there's, some medical, terminology, medical language, stuff like that, it's Latin. There's terminology that, you have to learn to, work in this industry. So none of the stuff in the documentation sounded medical. It sounded like, a layperson had wrote it. And that's why it probably was so effective in causing regular people, to say, oh, well, look, you see this here, because it sounds like a TV script or something. It's not, it didn't sound real. So most medical professionals, when they heard that, immediately thought, knew it was a bologna sandwich. So
you see here, Denethia Jones says Shanquilla expires shortly between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. Well, there's actually a video where, we've mapped out the time to, it was more like 7:30 to 8, Denethia. They recorded it, or they documented by the the time that the sun rose, and we mapped it out and all that good stuff. So yeah, no, those numbers there, we're going to disagree with that. Yeah, we had ruled that this time out already before. In the prior video, Sleuthy Lucy actually was one of the videos that we used to verify the time that was more around between 7:30 and 8:30 a.m. Let's see here. PM channel says at JP6, you are so right, unless it benefits her. Y'all talking about that Kamala chick up there? All right. What's up, Sharon? All right, we got some more roses and stuff being delivered to our chat. And I'm just excited about that. See, some more loves and greetings and all that good stuff. Betty says Kamala Harris was at Brittany Grimes' game. She gave her a big hug a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. I told y'all, right? That's why once it was revealed, the community who was on the other end of, the responsibility of Shanquilla's untimely demise, So, yeah. And that's why they trying to do the hush-hush on the justice here. All right, got some more birthday greetings for you, Miss Lady. What's up, Raw? How you doing? Welcome back. It's good to see you here. Good to see you here. All right, let me see here. What more is being said here on this here. And what I want to do is, I'm trying to see, because on one of these old lives, we read the Wikipedia for that time. Oh, I think that's just John Q talking about the death certificate. All right, let me see. What is this? Okay, we're talking about, this is Kanika Jenkins up there too. All right, so let me get on back over here so we can get to our next little something over there. Howdy, people. All right, so we take a little intermission here. All right, so we got some thank yous and all stuff. So Danita says, I reviewed the hammock video and Shanquilla's left eye looks black. Nazir did say he turned her on her side and she was in her side on the hammock. All names on the register was there on 10/28. Let's see here. PM says at Betty, yes, Griner's first fits the alternative agenda. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, y'all. Yeah. They got some of them they promoting up there. Sharon says, hi, Irene. It's been a while. Had to push back to get clear. Yes, a little bit going on, but nothing for can't fix. Yes, I totally agree with you. And me too. I've had to take some time off too, and regroup and stuff like that, because it was it was exhausting, and it really hurt when there was no justice happening and stuff like that. It hurt. It was discouraging. It was discouraging. It really was. Especially, so confident, like, with all of the lies, we were able to just go right back with the truth, hit them with the truth. So, it felt like, it's impossible to not get any justice because, booyah, we got the video, we got the proof. And then every time y'all try to throw something back up in there, we just go right back out here with, here go this here video where we see her getting his neck broke. So, all right. So our next little thing, I think it might be on this one. I'm just gonna kind of skim through this because I really want to see that Wikipedia back in November. I want to see if it was on this video. Let me try this one here. All right, I'm just gonna, let me clean skim through this here. This here was from another November something. And like I said, one of those lives, we found the, all right, I'm just going to go here. All right, here we go. About to share this next one here. Oops, that ain't the thing. My bad. Yeah, this here. All right, let's check this here out. Oh, I'm about to say, I got the same shirt on. Okay, anyway, this here is from November the 28th. All right, November 28th. And we're talking about RN says Shanquella Robinson police report is fake. I was saying that back then. All right, let's see what I was talking about.
FBI agent O'Toole speaks on Shanquella Robinson's case. Suspects facing multiple felonies. So we're going to take a peek at that. And it's short. It's only 3 minutes. And then
All right.
I'll pause in and break in when I hear or see anything suspicious there, anything that we should look at.
Look, I was on it back then too.
So hold on here while I share the screen. All right, so I'm going to play this, and y'all let me know if you hear it by putting a 1 in the chat if you can hear it. I'm about to play the action now.
I don't hear it. Let me see.
Here, retired, so we can take.
All right, let me see.
You know, you can't really say all the stuff and think you're going to be able to show back up at. Heard her say that.
Uh-oh. All right, let's see.
Well, at this point, it's confusing because based on the videotape and then based on the stories that are,
you know, you can't really say all the stuff and think you're gonna be able to show back
again,
up
like I said,
work,
this was
right?
way
So
back in my early days.
So we can take her stuff,
Volume
whack.
Divergence in terms of what law enforcement is being told. So it's even confusing the cause and manner of death. Is it an accident, or did she die as the result of an attack? And that becomes very critical because people that were involved in it and may have helped to cover up what happened, maybe they just got caught up with it, but they are going to get involved and probably charged as well.
Wow.
Well, that's good to hear because they need to be charged. And, you know, there's
now back then, everybody was under the impression that those people, the Cabo 6, needed to be charged, that there was probable cause to charge them with a crime. Like that was no surprise that, you know, they should have been charged with a crime. So this is the reason why it's so, you know, outrageous when they say, you know, it's not enough evidence to make any charges.
much conflicting behavior of this group with Shanquella. And let's talk about those potential charges there. I would look at, I'm not the attorney here, but premeditated murder, potential charge. And can anyone be punished for this cover-up? I mean, what other charges could be filed?
Well, that says Nazir Wiggins. This here says there's a case number, arraigned offenses. Oh, this is that traffic stuff. Remember when they were saying that they was trying to get him for the traffic stuff? This is Nazir Wiggins, Nazir, Tyree Vincent. Okay, so that's what that was there. All right, let's see. I was really trying to find the one that had the what is this? That had the Wikipedia in there just to show y'all how it ain't been a year and they done manipulated this Wikipedia like, you know, at least 3 times. So let me just see. It's on here. Well, I was doing some talking. I was just doing some, what is this? Is that Gail? Gail was talking too.
Well, she was traveling with people she says or thought were her friends. Shanquella Robinson died last month at a resort near Cabo, San Lucas.
All right, so it says Mexico wants U.S. woman extradited. See? You got to see the little fine print up here, right? So they say they want, right? So that means like nobody's they just told us this, but nothing's happened. This isn't being enforced at all. This is just more talk. This is baloney. They gave us another baloney sandwich here, right? It says here, Mexico wants U.S. woman extradited.
Wow.
Now, Mexican prosecutors are trying to get an unnamed American woman extradited to Mexico to face the charges. They say that Robinson was killed in a, quote, direct attack, not an accident. Lilia Luciano was following this investigation. Lilia, good morning. The story is so disturbing on so many levels.
It really is. Good morning to you all. Well, Shanquella Robinson traveled with 6 friends to Mexico. Some of those friends initially told Robinson's parents that she died of alcohol poisoning, but her death certificate later listed her cause of death as a spinal cord and neck injury.
All right, y'all heard her say death certificate, right? Okay, listen. She said death certificate now.
Robinson's father told us if it weren't for the disturbing videos that emerged, including one where she's being brutally attacked, he fears justice would have never been served.
She was just a very, outgoing person. I mean, she loved people, just loved the friends that she was around with.
Shanquella Robinson's father says his daughter's friends are to blame for the 25-year-old's death at a resort in Mexico in late October. Days after her death, a video.
All right. Here's even the steel frame, right? Look at that. All right. I'll see the shape.
And see, I was trying to break down how you can tell by the skeleton, by the statue of the individual, what it is, right? There's no way to change your skeleton. You can look at how people are standing. You can tell. Look at the straight back.
Too disturbing to show went viral, showing a woman beating Robinson, who was naked and not.
Again.
Look at her.
The posture here.
Fighting back while other friends watched and filmed nearby.
All right, y'all can see that. Bowed back. The person here is doing physical damage, trauma to head and neck. Look at this back. How straight and flat that is.
My daughter, she suffered, man. The last breath she took, she suffered. And they sit there and watch.
A local police report shows friends called for medical help just after 2 p.m., saying Robinson had, quote, drunk a lot of alcohol. But the doctor.
All right, now, so this here is even different. It says friends called for medical help after 2 p.m. with these statements here, right? Not that the concierge called.
Arrived and suggested she be taken to a hospital. She told police Robinson's friends refused and insisted.
Okay, so I'm going to just pull this up real quick. Now, the doctor, being guided by a civilian, very highly unlikely, because most of them, are very, secure and, know they have all this education, and they don't rarely, if ever, take any, too much information from the nerves. Why would we believe that a physician would take instructions from some civilians, right? Right. So
when their license is on the line, right? Even the nurse isn't going to be listening to the family members or the friends. If it's your license on the line, you're not going to be listening to them. You're going to do what you're supposed to do because you're the one with the license to protect, right? Denithia says they need to be questioned because they filmed Shanquilla in the nude without her permission. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's so many different things that they should be gotten on. Yes, I totally agree with you on that. Right? They broke so many laws. Those are laws that were broken.
But this to me shows more of the story being phony, fake story here. Keep going.
Insisted on keeping her at the resort. Mr. Robinson says her friends called Shanquilla's mother that night to say she was being treated for alcohol poisoning. An autopsy report released.
Okay, there we go, right there. You hear it? An autopsy report. That's a lie. An autopsy report. That's not an autopsy report. Look at that. That says death certificate.
Wow.
And these are two different things. So why did she change this up? See, they didn't think we was going to keep listen to this stuff. See there, that's two different things. Autopsy report, that's fake. See there, they trying to trick us, y'all. They trying to trick us.
Days later states Robinson died of a severe spinal cord injury and neck trauma at around 3 p.m. After her death, all 6 friends returned to the United States.
Wow.
Mexican authorities are now seeking the extradition of a single female suspect.
All right, they said a single female suspect. Okay.
Is that okay?
John Jay College law professor Dmitry Shagnovich says the process now lies in the hands of the U.S. justice system.
They will engage in their own due process to see this person that is alleged to have committed a crime.
Do y'all hear that? He said person. Person. Why did he say person?
Yeah.
Should be extradited.
What do you want to see happen?
I want the truth, man. I just want them to get back over there and tell the Mexican authorities why they did what they did. I can't even be a grandfather. I can't even walk down the aisle, man. Only thing I'm gonna do is cherish the moment that we had, the 25 years while she was here on this earth.
His only child. Robinson's death is being investigated by Mexican authorities as a femicide or the.
Did y'all hear that?
Wow.
As a femicide. Okay, so we won't stop. Let me just finish it up here. As a femicide, keep that in mind. It's being investigated as a femicide.
Killing of a woman because of her gender. The FBI has said that they have opened an investigation into the death as well. And at this hour, it remains unclear whether those who witnessed the fight may also be.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. So they're talking at that time that, those who witnessed the fight, that they're going to be charged with something. This is back in November, y'all. So that's why I'm saying it's hard to hear the FBI come back and say in April that it's not enough evidence when y'all was saying that you're going to be looking enough, getting the other people and stuff. When did this all change? When did the stuff change? Denithia says the first death certificate says time of death, 10/29/22, 15 p.m. Cause unknown from Mexico. All right. So the first death certificate, when it said, I saw you had also said earlier too that it says, the coroner said she passed 15 minutes after her injuries, right? So the reason why, okay, so if she passed 15 minutes after her injury, and then we saw the video when she received the injury, and we were able to deduce the time being somewhere in the morning time, 7 to 8 a.m., right? So when they say here on this death certificate that it would be 3 p.m., 1500 at 3 p.m. here. Am I showing this? Oh, it's because when they were told that the medical personnel was there and pronounced at 2 something, that they would say that would be the time of death. But the time of death is 15 minutes after receiving the injury, which would have made it in the morning time here. So, yeah, they only have to go by what was told to them as far as like when her last known will time was. Great statement, though. Appreciate that. We're saying some hi to Karen. Yeah, hey, Karen, what's going on? Sandra Gee says hello to everyone. Hey, how are you? All right. Everybody is greeting the people here. We got some old school people coming back up in here. Let's see here. Betty says their parents are covering up for them. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, y'all. Raw says supposedly the Mexican authorities have her second phone. Huh. Sharon says, wow, RN, what I'm noticing is we were watching the attack live, which is why we aren't seeing what we saw in the video on YouTube. What I'm noticing is we were watching the attack live, which is why we aren't seeing what we saw in the video on YouTube. Okay. JP6 says, I believe those attacks are worse. I believe so. Videos are being held back. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Lena? All right. Let's see. Karen says, as Sharon, I've been very concerned about you. Uh-oh. Me and Karen. Let's see. Holly Favor said 3 white LGBT are in charge of Black Lives Matter, and George Soros is funding Black Lives Matter. Wow. Sharon says, I know I saw it on the day of the attack in the wee hours of the morning. Yeah. Okay. Let me move back up here and read this one again. Now it's making sense. It says, wow, RN, what I'm noticing is we were watching the attack live, which is why we weren't seeing what we saw in the videos on YouTube. Yeah. So you're talking about that that other video? Yeah. And they were coming up so easily that I know that I probably wasn't thinking like, I need to save this link. So, when they take it down, I never thought that it would not be available if you typed it up ever, it was there. So, yeah. See, Danita says the investigation started in the U.S. soon as the Cabo 6 names were attached to the leaked video. The case should be able to move forward by Mexico because it is not a femicide. It's a homicide to me. Betty says USA does not recognize femicide. Change that word to homicide. Yeah. All right. So we got some more greetings there. Sharon says that, Karen, thanks, family came in town. All right. Here we go. Sandra says, I am wondering if the times in the reports was translated to American time. I think the video was tampered with and maybe the light as well. Well, let's see here. Let's see what's happening on this here. All right, I'm gonna find a video, one of these here with. I have to look it up. With the video of the attack. Oh, okay. Here goes something.
Thing. Show the.
Oops. God darn it. Wow. Okay. All right. So here's here. Let's see. This was Wicked. Just okay. Let me see.
Going in convulsion. We have to deal with that. Let's see here. Purple Queen says the second video, the Mexican investigator said a female tried to stop what was going on, and Shanquella is seen going in convulsions. Right. So of course, what you're seeing, Purple Queen, is speculation because no one's seen this video, right? All we can go by is what we've seen. So everybody who's out there talking about this second video with all these different events happening, to me, y'all sound just like the police report with the 3 hours of care that was rendered and all that stuff. So, yeah. So I yeah. Show, where's it at? We need to see the thing. Show the thing. Show the stuff.
Wow.
Shelley Stalling said this was wicked, just like these so-called holidays are wicked. Okay.
Let me start. Okay, that's not the one. Let me go get a few more over here. Yes. Betty says, I want homicide instead of femicide. I just want something, right? Since the FBI said nothing. They say nothing. Yo, Lena, JP6 says. Sharon says, I'm feeling that way too. Yeah. I mean, I'm willing to do anything just to see, something, make something, give a charge, something. Let's see. Ross says only 6 were. Is Ross? Where's your wrench at? Ross says, oh, you got one. Ross says only 6 were there on Friday. 1 came Saturday afternoon. So he says. Ernie says that is math and science. You're right. Yep, that's what we do over here. Math and science. How we getting down with the math and the science. And Betty says, I thought Winter gave Shanquilla the death blow. I say we saw Dejanay administer the death blow. Once she broke her neck on and slung her down to the floor, snapped her neck, 15 minutes after receiving that, time was up. So regardless if Winter came over there and gave her another knuckle sandwich or did anything, the death blow had already been administered by the person that they were calling Dejanay when she put her in the headlock and slung her over with the pull thrust technique that John Q explained so eloquently in several videos here to administer the death blow. That's exactly when it happened. Ross says at All Around Attributed, do you think there was an error in translation for the cause of death? Not the one that's listed on the death certificate. No, because it listed the just those injuries. And the reason why I don't think there was no discrepancies on that is because we see it. Like you can see when the atlas luxation injury is inflicted, and you see it right there. They matches up with what we saw on the video with what is reported. Sandra says, I think Shanquilla was unalived in the hammock. She didn't look unalived in the hammock. She looked asleep in the hammock. Like I said before, there's a certain look or flatness that a body has as opposed to someone who's asleep, right? Like remember I showed that one video when dude was carrying the dead girl, right? She looked like a mannequin, almost the stiffness, the lifelessness of it. There's a certain lifelessness, and she looked asleep, not deceased in the hammock. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Yes. Hey, what's up, Tamika? Tamika saying hello and blessings to all of the beautiful souls here. Yes. Thank you so much for the blessings. All right. So we got some more greetings up there. Sharon says at Sandra, when I saw the video with the hammock, I asked the same question. I was thinking that, or they drugged her because she seemed out cold. Yeah. Yeah, definitely sleep. Let me see here. Because after, I mean, the video, after we saw her get her neck broken, I don't see too many people able to manipulate her body after that. Like, we would have seen her, she wouldn't have been able to look like that in the hammock. We would have seen the injuries of the neck. Like, she wouldn't have been able to be in that position after sustaining the injuries that we saw. Like, her head would not be in that position. You would be able to see it off of the axis. That's why, yeah. Yep. All right. So Karen is saying that, Tamika, hey there, how are you? Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all so much. And see here, we're gonna be moving on here. Hey, what's up, Lakeisha? Lakeisha said, will we ever get to the bottom of this? Obviously, amen. Yes. And I believe that's why we are in this position that we're in now, because of, whatever's going on here in society. I agree with you there. Yep. And the elephant in the room, right? That folks are scared to talk about. Says, hey team, everything is great. Hoping all is well with everybody. Yes. Thank you, Lakeisha. Appreciate that. Ross says, now we know that they contacted the concierge at 1:15 for medical help. Well, we had read that it was like 2 p.m. on the one document that Sue Ann Robinson had brought back. Raw, remember? It was 2 p.m. It was after 2 p.m. that they called. Let's see here. Sandra says, at Sharon, I think it was premeditated and she could have been attacked right when she was walking around unclothed. The times might be translated to American time. 8 is late to have dinner. Yeah. Hey, Lakeisha. All right, we got some more private stuff there. See, Kamaya said the U.S. refused to extradite, and I wonder why, because I don't believe for 1 second her neck wasn't broke. They're protecting somebody. Yes. Yes. I think they would do better to just go ahead and, get these people, show us that we seeing some justice, and then we'll be quiet. Y'all forcing us to get political. Y'all forcing us to, do all this stuff, marching on Washington and, doing more and more stuff because of this here, slap in the face. Betty says, blessings to Shanquella Robinson family. Yes. Yep. Lena says, a doctor is taught to be, yes, be authoritarian. Exactly. Exactly. And then people going around talking about, well, if they didn't tell the doctor that they broke her neck, how was the doctor supposed to know? Do you think that when you come to the hospital, what about the people that's found out in the streets and and they not talking? We have ways. You can look and visually see things first. The injuries that we were able to see on the videos would have been visible at the time of the assessment. So there's no way that a trained professional would not have been able to see those injuries, would not have been able to see that the body was not in alignment. You can tell when someone's shoulder is dislocated before an x-ray is rendered. You can tell when someone's hip is broken before the x-ray is rendered, because that leg is going to be obviously shorter than the other one. It's a telltale sign. Yep, you're absolutely right. And there's never a time when a doctor is going to feel like they need to get information or be told how to do their job by some lay people. And the doctor definitely is not going to give away 3 hours of their time rendering CPR. Shoot, you'll be lucky to get the doctor to do some compressions in CPR in the time of a cold. Only the new ones that just got out of med school and stuff for the experience of all it. But no, they don't do that. No. Karen is giving some more emojis up in here to the people. Yes, all right. And Betty says, so many lies told. Exactly. I'm just saying that's why if we just stick into the truth, they're not going to be able to fool us with these lies, because the truth cannot be hidden with no lies. And Denithia says, the maids normally do house cleaning around 11 to 12. She said the body was cold. How long does it take rigor mortis to set in? Yeah, we did a little research. It says average time is like 3 hours or so, right? So, yeah, if we go back to that, when in the beginning, when they were saying that the maid found Shanquilla in the seated position, right? Already stiff and cold, right? So, yeah. What's up, Trinice? I'm so sorry. Trinity says the videos were taken out of sequence and put into a timeline to fit the narrative of those monsters. I believe you. I believe you're right with that, right? Yeah. Let's see here. Adrian, I appreciate you engaging with the chat line. I give you your flowers. Thank you. While I yet live, give me my flowers. While I yet live. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love flowers. I love them. Thank y'all so much. And see here. Sharon says, I agree. 8 was pretty late for dinner. Thought it may have been delayed because of travel. Oh, y'all thinking that this was happening during dinner time? I'm more apt to believe that it was during like the sunrise in the morning time, right? Let's see here. Betty said, wasn't somebody's relative a cop of the Cabo 6? Cabo demons? Yeah, I want to say that they said it was I don't remember, but I do remember somebody had a sister that was a police officer. That was let's see here. Denise says that sentence. AG. The Times and Lightning bingo. Wow. All right. So we do seeing some more stuff here. And so since I'm not able to find out right offhand which one of these videos had that original Wikipedia in it, we're just gonna read today's Wikipedia, what they saying, so we can match up how they trying to fool us with some of these here lies. Let's see. Betty says they all beat her to death. Yes, just like I was saying before, if you are with a group of people, just like with the little case that we was talking about, where the girl sends the guys over there to shoot up the house, that guy's death is on the hands of the 3 people that went with him over to that man's house with a gun, right? That's what happens. If you part of a group and somebody going in there to do a robbery, and somebody, even if the clerk defends themselves and unalives one of the bandits, the rest of the group is going to be responsible for that person's death. Yep, that's just how it goes. So the rest of those 6, the rest of the 5 of them are just as responsible as the person who broke her neck. Tamika says at Denithia Jones, I had to identify my brother's deceased And I was in his home for more than 4 hours and rigor mortis had not set. Yes, it depends on the elements too, right? It could be in a warm room, a cold room, and then everybody is going to be different, right? So, there's just only approximates and stuff like that. Nothing set in stone here. Sandra says at the Nithya, exactly. The first time change in a concierge statement was Dejanay calling from the airport to say they would be late. Oh, yeah, that's right. We did hear that in one of those stories. And again, like I was saying, a lot of times you could tell lies is because they give a lot of details, a lot of story be part of it, right? Because they got to set the stage. They got to give the narrative, right? To describe it and give you the, tell you the situation, what you're supposed to be looking for. So you'll know how to think. They said, I was told it takes 4 hours before rigor mortis set in by the undertaker when my dad died. Yeah, y'all, see, I had a little insert on how to do on that stuff there. So I love y'all. Sharon says, I don't think any of us thought they would take the video down or alter it. Yeah, because someone asked me, well, why didn't you save it? I don't know. Like, I wasn't thinking that, if I needed it again, I'll just go ahead and type it in there and I'd be able to, grab it. Like, it wasn't, they were playing it. Or I didn't think that we were going to be trying to, they were going to be trying to hide it or, change it up or something. So, yeah, we got some more folks saying justice for Shanquilla. I'm loving this. We need this. Hey, what's up, Ladams? Sweet Tea says, hey, all around at your beauty RN. This is Beverly Foster. Now I'm back as Ladam Sweet Tea. Okay, well, bonjour. Comment allez-vous? There we go. What's up, Janet? Janet says, dang, I'm late. Hi, RN. Now we just getting started. We going over old stuff, right? So we ain't bringing it because it wasn't nothing new. I looked, y'all. Ain't nothing new happening up in here. So that's why I'm saying we just sticking to the stuff here. Sandy says we can enlarge the hammock photo. They could have put makeup on her. So even in the hammock photo, I didn't notice any swelling. She would have had the swelling to her face. Right? Even her parents did acknowledge that there was some facial trauma, some facial swelling, which was not visible on those hammock videos. Like we saw the traumatic face abuse, face attack, face and neck attack. There would have been, we would have saw that. Like you don't just receive those type of injuries and, don't be no type of, she would have had a swollen face. Face would have been swollen. And two, like I said, her head still would have been hanging off of her body. Like she wouldn't have been able to be in that position. Like I said, there's a way that a dead body, a body without life, a lifeless body lies as opposed to a body that is still alive, but sleep. So. And then two, put the makeup on. Why would they have done all of that stuff? And then two, if after receiving the injury, she only had 15 minutes to live, so they put makeup on a corpse. Nah, I don't think so. Let's see. Denethia says the doctor supposedly saw busted lip and eye. All right. What's up, Beverly? Oh, so I need to. You're supposed to have you a wrench over here. See here. Janet is saying some more hellos and all that stuff. Le Dan Sweet Tea says bonjour, Sharon. Yes, yeah, I didn't know tu parlais en français, huh? All right, see here. Sharon says at Beverly Foster, hi there, been a while. Yes, it has. All right, so we got some stuff there. I think I got down good enough here. So let's go ahead and I think I'm gonna try to look at one more to see where that because I know we saw the first part of me be scared to play some of these stuff too, because I didn't expect to get to see some of this stuff. But let's see. I would appreciate if we did see some of the old stuff where everyone missed. All right, let's try this one. Let's just see. Like I said, in the beginning, we was putting out a lot of stuff. Let me put that down there. All right, so this here might be something interesting. Again, it's an oldie but a goodie here. Oldie but goodie. And we looking for that initial Wikipedia, because I just think it's extremely, I'm curious to see like why within a year's time, it hadn't even been a year's time that it's been edited at least 3 times, right? It's like whenever we YouTubers are putting out these facts, then they go change it up to try to, paint this picture here. But they're just digging a bigger hole for themselves. Let's see here. I'm just going to run the mouse up here a little bit. For that comment, that is so true. And, statistics show that a woman will leave and return. All right, so this video, this live was what everyone missed in Shanquella Robinson attack video. All right, so this comment that I'm reading from Auntie Mo says, I'm a survivor of domestic violence. It's a very long process of healing and growing, learning, and setting new boundaries for yourself. So, of course, the channel has always been about helping victims overcome the fear of facing the abuse to become survivors. So we've been talking about that all this good time. And let me see what this date is here. This was December. Now we're moving into December. This is December 3rd. So we still green. We still green, but we're growing. 7 times before we finally get the strength to be able to effectively escape and get out of there and be gone for good.
Gone and stay gone.
It's a lot, when you get physically abused and emotionally abused, mentally abused. Those are the hard, especially mental abuse. Yeah. Mental abuse is extremely hard to heal from because you can't see it, right? So if you get you got the big black eye, people kind of know that, okay, she get hands put on her, right? You can kind of tell the big lip, all that stuff. But if someone is abusing your self-esteem or abusing you financially, abusing you sexually, abusing you in ways that don't show up physically, those are the hardest ones to heal, because a lot of times the victim is not even aware that they're being victimized. So thank you so much, Auntie Mo, for your comment. Yes. All right. Appreciate that. That's a great comment. Now I got to figure out where did that complaint come? I think it was on this one here. All right. Like I said, I appreciate all of the comments and complaints and here we go. All right. So I just want to share this real quick too, just so we can be clear on what we're doing here and what we're not doing. Because this here is the All Around Natural Beauty live. This is live. So we do the long stroke up in here. We take our time and lay a nice little foundation, warm up the scene and all that good stuff. So I had there was a comment here that said, let's see here. Heavens to Murgatroyd, when are you going to start talking about the subject? We are 20 minutes. Who cares? Let's see. Tiffany Taylor says, does the second video exist or not? The winter video? Tiffany, yes. there is another video that I saw back in November that showed the light-skinned girl hitting, Shanquilla. The licks were not as severe as what it was shortly after Dejanay had slammed her down to the floor. Other people had saw the video too and spoke about it. However, shortly after the video came out, it was removed, and then most of us, I know I was guilty of it, kind of, brain was like, did you see it? Did you didn't see it? There was no, it didn't show up anymore. So I had even, forgot that, or, wasn't aware that I saw it until I saw some of my old videos when I was referring to it. Oh, the light-skinned girl that was hitting her, So that's how I know that there is another video out there and that I did see it. And I remember seeing it. It was right when this thing first came out. There was it was videos coming out. So yeah. But no one's been able to find it to to play it again and stuff. So that's where we have been having some difficulties at, is with finding the video again. However, there's been too many people that have said that they have found the video and or have seen the video, but again, no proof. So it's one of those roughy toughy type things. So I don't see it on this either. I'm trying to find that Wikipedia because I think it's very interesting to see how they changed it up. How they changed it up. So in case I'm not able to find it, I'm just going to read what today's Wikipedia is talking about. And kind of what really, what brought me to kind of talk about it tonight is because, we are already past 6 months. We're past 6 months and nothing, nothing's happening here. They're toning down the energy on it. And, it was almost working. So I'm just excited that people are like saying, no, we're not going to accept this, that we will continue to say justice for Shanquella Robinson. We're not stopping. We are not stopping. All right, so let's go ahead and see what this Wikipedia is saying for today. Let's see how they didn't change it up. We're trying to make the cover up sound real. Here we go, Wikipedia. All right, so let's go ahead and play around with this for just a little bit here. So we got a little more time. Here's Wikipedia, right? So it says killing of Shanquella Robinson. So over here we can see that they are calling it a homicide. This just simply means that a person is responsible for the person's death, right? Shanquella Robinson, born January the 9th, 1997, died October 29th, 2022, was an American businesswoman, founder of women's fashion clothing line, hairstylist, and social media personality from North Carolina, United States, who was murdered. Now, see how they see here? Look here. Over here in this little box, it says homicide. Then over here, what did it say? Murder. Murdered. Who was murdered while on vacation in Mexico. She died on October 29th. That's what I'm saying. With lies, they always put the truth in there, and then they throw in some lies to get you distracted. But then the truth will be off up in there. Here we go. Look at that word right there. Murdered. Red rum. Red rum. Red rum. Red rum. She was red rummed while on vacation in Mexico. She died on October 29, 2022, shortly after traveling with friends and a group of loose acquaintances to Mexico resort town of Cabo, San Lucas. There was considerable public interest and intrigue surrounding the cause of her death. In addition, substantial collaborative efforts of citizen journalism and amateur news bloggers played an important role in bringing attention to Robinson's death, to the point of Mexican authorities facing enhanced scrutiny, particularly because the municipal police department initially treated the death as a case of conventional tourist alcohol intoxication. Wow. All right, let me go back over here, sis. That these news bloggers played an important role in bringing attention to Robinson's death, to the point of Mexican authorities facing enhanced scrutiny. And once the Mexican authorities started to face this enhanced scrutiny, what happened? All of a sudden we had the prosecutor. They was all making big news conferences. They sent Geraldo out here to, calm the crowd down and all that stuff, right? Once they started facing this enhanced scrutiny, particularly because the municipal police department initially treated the death as a case of conventional tourist alcohol intoxication. Wow. So tourists come over there oftentimes and have alcohol intoxication. Wow. Wow. A video later surfaced which showed Robinson being attacked in a rental villa prior to her death. The circumstances leading to her mysterious death, as well as the medical treatment, police report, and forensic inquiries into the cause of her untimely passing, have led to an ongoing high-profile transnational criminal investigation within the United States and Mexico, right? Which is a lie, because none of them did any type of investigation. They kept deferring to the other one. They only gave us lip service. But where is the investigation? Where is the report? Where is the information that shows that they investigated and here was the findings, and this is why we are not able to prosecute or bring any charges, right? Where's that information at? All right, so here we go. This says edited. All right, let's see what this says. They don't say nothing up there. All right, so it's edit, right? So can anybody edit on this? Huh. Wow, look at this. Anyone can edit, and every improvement helps. Wow. Thank you for helping the world discover more. Wow. Ha. Oops, let me go back into this. Uh-oh. Oops, was y'all not able to see this whole time? I'm so sorry. I thought I was sharing the screen. I was sharing the screen, wasn't I? All right, so anyway, let me scroll back down here. All right, so let me see here. Background. Robinson was a graduate of the historically Black college, Winston-Salem State University. She ran several boutiques and children's hair braiding businesses under her Exquisite Kids and Exquisite Boutique brands in her hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina. On October 28, 2022, Robinson traveled to Mexico for a short vacation with a friend and 5 travel companions, 3 women and 3 men, some of whom have been identified as Kylie Cook, Malik St. Patrick Dreyer, Winter Essence Donovan, Elise Michelle Hyatt, Dejanay Jackson, and Nazir Wiggins. The group checked into a rental luxury apartment in the Puerto Los Cabos resort town of Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Death. Wow, they even let you edit on this too. Isn't that interesting? All right. So on October 29th, a day after the group's arrival at around 2:13 p.m., a doctor from the American Medical Center. Okay. This says that a doctor from the American Medical Center, right? Now, the one autopsy report that Sue Ann Robinson donated here said that the concierge said they called their own doctor, right? That take care of the people that, rent the villa. Remember that? Anybody remember that? Right? They called their doctor. So that doctor was not the American Medical Center, right? Now they trying to say that the American Medical Center doctor played around with Shanquilla for 3 hours. Cabo San Lucas was requested because a resident at the resort was feeling unwell. At around the same time, Shanquilla's mother, Salamandra Robinson, received a phone call from one of her daughter's travel companions saying that her daughter had taken ill and that a doctor was on the way to tend to her welfare. Dr. Carolina Beatriz Ornelas Gutierrez from the American Medical Center arrived within an hour and found a female in stable condition. Ooh. Okay. Now, how did all this change up, y'all? Remember? Right? Because it was a male doctor that the concierge, Sue Ann had brought back to us in her information, right? It was a male doctor that worked for the villa, right? That took care of all the villa's needs. Remember, that was the doctor. He was the one who was contacted. So when did this here Carolina Beatriz Ornelas Gutierrez, when did she get there? And why did she work on an American patient for more than 3 hours in the field? Thank you, Beverly. All right. Look at that float down there. Beverly, thank you so much for your $20 super chat. Says, I have to go because my phone needs charging. Oh, but y'all and Shanquilla's family will always be in my prayers. Love you, family. All right. Thank you. We love you too, Beverly. And thank you so much, Madame Sweet Tea, for your continued support. Appreciate you. Now, this here, that's what I'm saying. Look at this. Look at this phony baloney stuff, right? Now, okay, so this here doctor, they spent all this time to say A female in stable condition, but dehydrated, disoriented, verbally unresponsive, unable to communicate, and appearing to be intoxicated. Okay, now listen to all these discrepancies, right? So, how did Dr. Carolina Beatriz Ornelas Gutierrez make a diagnosis of dehydration, right? And it's impossible to be stable if you are disoriented. These are urgent medical needs that need evaluation immediately. If someone's disoriented, we need to find out what's going on. Have you had a stroke? What's happening? Why are you verbally unresponsive? Verbally unresponsive is not stable. This is unstable. This is critical here. Critical. Verbally unresponsive. This is nothing a doctor would say. A doctor would never say that a patient is stable but dehydrated. This does not go together. Dehydration is not stable. This could turn bad really quick. Disoriented is not stable. This needs to be found out why someone's disoriented. This is not a normal state of being. Verbally unresponsive? What doctor would sign their name saying that they evaluated someone who was verbally unresponsive? If you're verbally unresponsive, we're calling 911 to get you help. If a doctor comes in contact with someone who's verbally unresponsive, how are you able to also diagnose disorientation? You have to make a response in order for me to determine if you are oriented or disoriented, right? Because me saying that you're disoriented because you didn't answer the questions appropriately, but you can't answer a question appropriately if you're verbally unresponsive. So when we're making evaluations and assessments, especially someone's status, if they are verbally unresponsive, our response is to say unaccessible. You can't make the assessment because part of it is getting a verbal response. And if they are verbally unresponsive, unable to communicate, then you cannot say disoriented, because you just said here that they're verbally unresponsive and unable to communicate. And then how do you get appearing to be intoxicated? How? These make no sense. How can you appear to be intoxicated? If you're intoxicated, are you verbally unresponsive and unable to communicate? Right? So this is how I can tell you this here. Bologna, dry bologna sandwich right there. All right. The explanation given to the doctor was that Robinson drank a lot of alcohol, right? So if I'm the doctor, if I'm the nurse, which I'm a nurse, and my initial evaluation, the patient is verbally unresponsive, and the friend's given an explanation, with the rest of my evaluation, why would I ask the friends or let the friends guide me what my intervention is going to be, right? More baloney, right? The doctor recommended that Robinson be admitted to the hospital, but her travel companions insisted she be treated in the apartment room. So any doctor who refuses to get emergency care for someone who is verbally unresponsive. Just this alone shows that this is neglect from this doctor. This is fake. When even a layperson taking CPR, the first thing they tell you is to tap and shout, right? Hey, 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 are you okay? Are you okay? Right? If the person don't respond, you call 911. You get the AED. You getting into action. So why was no action provided when Shanquilla was verbally unresponsive? Fake. All right. But her travel companions insisted she be treated in the apartment room. During medical treatment, the doctor attempted to administer an IV drip. All right, y'all see that picture right there? Now, where did this doctor get all this from? Where did the doctor get this from? Y'all see that? Here go IV, right? Right? So here's the catheter. Here's some, tubing. There's, there's things in here. Intravenous therapy, right, is a medical technique that administers fluid, medication, and nutrients directly into a person's vein, right? Description of this. This here is required to start an IV. Where did Dr. Carolina Beatriz Ornelius Gutierrez get the IV start kit from? Where did she get this equipment to start an IV? Right? Where did you get it from? And an IV is urgent care. How many people get an IV at home, right? If you need an IV, that means that's acute care. So again, it goes back to this being a dry bologna sandwich. During medical treatment, the doctor attempted to administer an IV drip. However, Robinson's condition worsened when she suffered a tonic-clonic seizure, right? So why did the doctor continue not to seek emergency help when her condition worsened, right? The condition worsened. This trumps the friend saying, no, treat her here. The condition has worsened. Ambulant paramedics, ambulant, that's what this actually says. Ambulant paramedic called to the scene around 4:49 p.m. Wow. So what time did Dr. All right, so she'd been here for over 2.5 hours. Over 2.5 hours, y'all. Over 2.5 hours, and now we're going to get the emergency people to get up in here. We're getting the emergency people to come in here after me, the doctor, been here for 2.5 hours. That's almost half of a hospital shift for the doctor. They're doing 8 hours, right? So they really spending that on a house call, right? On somebody who's non-responsive? How? All right. Okay. All right. So we're going to do a little bit more of this here. A little bit more. A little bit more here. It says that the ambulance was called around 4:20 after Robinson began having trouble breathing, with her pulse dropping as well. Robinson, now, y'all done read people's Wikipedias in the past. When has a Wikipedia put in all this information on anybody? All this, right? All this. Why? Why is Wikipedia telling us that the pulse was dropping as well? Robinson was having trouble breathing, the sphincter relaxation. Why is this part of the Wikipedia? Huh? Why? Right? And then here they contradicted themselves right in the next paragraph. Ambulance was called around 4:20. Then it says here, ambulance was called around 4:49. I mean, wait. I'm not making this up, right? It's right here, y'all. Look here. Right up here it says, however, Robinson's condition worsened when she suffered a tonic-clonic seizure, a stiffening of the body, arms and legs, as well as sphincter relaxation, spontaneous defecation, right? Look at all faking. All right, around 4:13 p.m., about 1 hour after the doctor arrived. Well, if the doctor arrived, right, at 2:13, this is 2 hours. 2 hours. 4:13 from 2:13 equals 2. That's why I say math and science, y'all. Math and science. Look at there. Look at there. In this one little paragraph, they didn't contradicted the hell out of themselves. All right. About 1 hour after the doctor's arrival, an ambulance was called around 4:20 p.m. after Robinson began having trouble breathing, with her pulse dropping as well. Robinson then suffered a cardiac arrest. Wow. Wow. All right, so none of this is matching up, right? Ambulance paramedics called to the scene around 4:20. Not even 2 sentences later, now the ambulance is called 29 minutes later. Tried to resuscitate Robinson, administering 14. So what the hell were they doing for all these hours here? This is so fake. What kind of Wikipedia is this? This is fake. Ambulance paramedics called to the scene around 4:49 p.m. tried to resuscitate Robinson, administering 14 CPR rounds. Now, paramedics, ambulance, first responders, it doesn't matter. They're not doing the CPR on the scene. They are starting it and you're en route to the hospital. Why are they on the scene still doing 14 rounds of CPR? They could have been at the hospital by that time. First responders are initiating the CPR on the scene, prepping, getting the person prepared to go to the nearest emergency room. Lies. First responders aren't doing this work. 14 rounds of CPR. And why would Wikipedia be reporting this vague, not even real stuff, right? And then putting in all these extra, look at all these extra pictures and stuff, right? Here's a trace for EEG, right? What, like why is that there, right? This IV, just so they can like see, look, we did all this stuff here. Look at this is what was happening there. Look at, see here, look at there, right? Right? So there's never a time that this is going to be performed in the field. They should have already been at the hospital by this time. And why is it taking them hours? Right? The times don't even match up. Administering 14 CPR rounds of cardiac vascular compressions. It should say cardio, not cardiac vascular compression. Like these words, this is not even correct. It's terminology. And interthoracic pressure. Intrathoracic pressure, yeah, to her chest in an attempt to reestablish venous blood oxygen saturation. Venous blood is not oxygenated. Arterial blood is. Again, they, with these lies, don't have all the proper knowledge. They're just putting words here. Venous blood is the blood that is deoxygenated. It's already is no oxygen. So you're not trying to establish venous blood oxygen saturation. That blood is deoxygenated. It's arterial blood. But because this is a bologna sandwich here, they don't know it because they don't have the true license to be able to talk about this stuff. They spitting out this little bologna sandwich. And for lay people who don't know, this sounds plausible. This sounds like they really did something. Oh, they did thoracic pressure and 14 rounds of CPR to establish venous blood oxygenation saturation. Right? Blah, 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 blah. It's baloney. Right? As well as injecting 5 doses of adrenaline and 6 electrical discharges from a defibrillator, right? So these 5 doses of adrenaline, right? When we do CPR, there's a few, there's a number of drugs that's used, right? There's bicarb, there's all kind of drugs that's administered up in here, Epinephrine is not the only one, right? And then they said here, so the 14 rounds of CPR, this here makes what? That don't make any sense, all right? The 6 electrical discharges from a defibrillator, there's no charges to be administered on asystole, which is no heartbeat, right? However, they were unable to revive any return of heartbeat, pulse, blood flow, pupillary reflexes, or other human vital signs. Now, does this sound like a Wikipedia story, right? This sounds like they are making this Wikipedia to match the dialogue for us to believe this stuff. Shanquilla was declared clinically dead at 5:57 p.m. According to the police report, police officers Omar and David of the Los Cabos Municipal Police Department were the two first responding officers at the scene around 5:25 p.m. They were briefed by Dr. Ornelas Gutierrez, who informed the officers that medical treatment was requested for a young lady who had ingested too much alcohol. She briefed the officers. Now, when the hell is the doctor talking to some low educated police officers about their work? When has the doctors briefed the police? Like, they need to be updated on some medical stuff. So she clinically dead, clinically dead. She wasn't in the clinic, right? So what does this clinically dead mean? What does that mean? And why are the police at the scene at 5:25 when she wasn't dead yet? Why are the police there? The police don't come out to emergency calls that's for medical stuff. They were briefed by Dr. Ornelas Gutierrez, who informed the officers that medical treatment was requested for a young lady who had ingested too much alcohol. She briefed the officers that she had found a female in stable but unresponsive condition. Why is the doctor telling the police about her assessment? Stable but unresponsive is not, it's impossible. You cannot be stable if you're unresponsive. That is unstable. Unresponsive is unstable. It's not stable. You're not supposed to be unresponsive. And that she had planned to admit her to the hospital on an IV line, which her travel companions objected to. Right? So if somebody's unresponsive, all bets are off. You get an emergency treatment. You life-saving treatments. How did she know that she needed an IV, right? An IV line. What is that supposed to do? An IV line for what? Right? Claiming they instead requested that the young lady be treated in the hospital room, in the hotel room, after which her condition worsened, even after arrival of ambulance paramedics. So if the condition worsened and the paramedics arrived, why didn't the paramedics immediately rush her to the hospital? That's what they do. The paramedics aren't physicians. They know how to get the person set up to be transferred to the hospital. Look at how much energy they're putting into these details here. After Robinson was declared dead, the investigating police officers notified the general prosecutor's office. Why? 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 In the state of Baja California, sir, reaching state attorney Julio Daniel around 6:35 p.m. and informing him of the death of a foreign citizen. They were instructed to file reports and investigation forms before handing the case to Minstrel Police. Based on eyewitness accounts and after consultation with Dr. Ornelius Gutierrez, the police report concluded. There we go, right there. Okay, so after talking to, the police report is reporting all this stuff. So basically, the police are the ones in charge of everything. The doctor is reporting to the police, and the police report is, the police are the authority here on this whole thing, right? Based on eyewitness accounts and after consultation with Dr. Gutierrez, the police report concluded that a deceased person, cardiopulmonary arrest, had died of alcohol poisoning. Look at all these diagnoses. And that she died 2 hours and 45 minutes after the doctor was called. So this sounds really bad that the doctor was there for 2 hours and 45 minutes and didn't do anything. The doctor right here needs to be arrested, right? Because they were there not as a good Samaritan, but as the physician. So 2 hours and 45 minutes you spent working on a patient. There were no observations of internal or external injuries in the police report. Based on the police report and the investigation of the Mexican authorities, the U.S. State Department initially released a statement reporting that Mexican authorities said there was no clear evidence Robinson was murdered. Coroner's report. Look at here. You can edit that too. Wow. On November 5th, a notarized English translation of Robinson's death certificate based on an autopsy report from forensic doctor Renee Gavin Oseguera from the Secretariat of Health, Baja California Sur, dated November 4th, was released. The autopsy report described Robinson's death 15 minutes after suffering a severe spinal cord injury and an atlas luxation, which is a dislocation or separation of the skull base from the atlas bone. Right? See that? The first bone in the neck. The forensic doctor made the following forensic observation in the official autopsy report. Date and time of death. Wait a minute. All right, so look here. Date and time of death, 1500 p.m., right? So it's supposed to just be 1500, right? We all know that 1500 is 3 p.m. All right, but look here. So if they was dead at 15, if she was dead at 1500, how come up here she wasn't pronounced until 5:57? 5:57 is when up here they already said she was declared dead at 5:57. So how can, that's like almost 3 hours. Almost 3 hours, All right, do y'all see how they playing us for fools? They playing us for fools, y'all. How are we supposed to believe that, right? You just said up here at 5:57 she was pronounced, right? Then right down here, time of death, 3. That's like a difference of 3 hours in the opposite direction. All right? Y'all with me? Cause of death: severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. Approximate time between injury and death: 15 minutes. Situations, circumstances, or reasons in which the injury occurred: person found unconscious in her living room. right? Was it accidental or violent death? Yes. The autopsy report mentioned neither cardiac arrest nor alcohol poisoning. All right. We're about to come in for a landing, y'all. I'm just going to do this little part, then I'm going to let y'all go because it's been holding you for a little minute here. All right. So, all right. Let me get some of these comments too, since y'all seem to be talking over here. Let's see here. Oh, y'all got some. Y'all talking. Let's see here. Janice says at Karen, she said that from day one, it makes me think that she knew it was some BS in North Carolina. Yes. Let's see. Denise said, you were sharing, you just got excited. Yes. That is insane about the editing. I learned that last year. Let's see here. Karen says at Chirania, it's surprising that Wiki would allow anyone to edit the article without citing their sources and providing identity. Yeah. I'm gonna, you know what? Just hang on 1 second. I'm about to go pick up somebody else Wikipedia, and we're gonna see how frequent this edit button is on other people here. Just bear with me, y'all. Humor me for a minute. I'm a little curious. That's a good point to put out there, Karen. Let's see here. Let me go on over here and find another Wikipedia. Let's see here. Who's a good person we could throw down under Wikipedia? Let's see. Let's see here. All right, here's somebody. All right. All right, here we go. All right. And I just typed up Selena, Selena Cantanilla, who was, she was a Tejano singer, right? And she passed too. She was murdered in 95, all right? So some of y'all might know her anyway. She was a Tejano singer, and she was killed by this crazy fan of her who was, right? So let's see here. All right, so I don't see edit so far. All right. Here you go. Selena was shot and killed. All right, no edit. Oh, well, look at here. Early life. Selena was born. No edit. No edit. Wow. Okay, here we go. All right, so far I have not seen any editing. No editing. No editing. And like I said, y'all, there's some videos back in my past there that when this first happened, I want to say it was in October, because we were in the chat. We were surprised that a wiki page had already been put out for her, and it was, so fast and stuff. So to see how it's been changed all up, man, they didn't just, it's contaminated. Look here. Not one space where you could edit on this. All right. Look there. Not one. Not one. Okay. Not one. All right. Now I'm just going to pick another random person. Let me see here. And yeah, feel free to drop a name in there too, if y'all think of anybody. Let's see here. How about Tupac? I'm going to pick some more dead people. Let's see here. Tupac. Dang, does Tupac not even have a real page? Dang. It's just a little paragraph. It ain't even nothing to click on. Oh, no, okay, here you go. All right, so I'm about to say, they cold-blooded. All right, so we're going to do this, and then we'll be coming in for a landing. I was just curious because, I thought that was amazing that her whole page looks like unbelievable. All that editing stuff up in there, and then all of that fake story in there about the doctor doing all these things. Like, who? Let's just see what they. Okay, these two people here were killed too. Let's just see what their autopsies and all that stuff say. Okay, so here we go. Tupac. All right, I'm slipping down here. So far, I see no space where public editing is permissible. All right. All right. No edit. No edit. No edit. Education, music career. Even that. No edit. No edit. No edit. All right. No edits. Talking about his music. No editing. No editing. All right. Even with these post-mortem albums here. No editing. All right. Personal life. No editing. Legal issues. No editing. All right. Shooting. Let's even see if they don't even have his autopsy up here. All right, even on the little the accusations and stuff, there's still no editing. No editing. Here go death. All right. All right. On the night of September 7th, 1996, Shakur was in Las Vegas, Nevada to celebrate his business partner, Tracy Danielle Robinson's birthday, and attended the Bruce Seldon versus Mike Tyson boxing match with Suge Knight at the MGM Grand. Afterwards, in the lobby, someone in the group spotted the Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, a Southside Compton Crip, whom the individual accused of having recently tried to snatch his neck chain with the death row, blah, 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 blah. All right, so look here. It don't say none of the stuff here. Oh, here we go. Shakur was taken to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, where he was heavily sedated and put on life support. In the intensive care on the afternoon of September 30th, Shakur died from internal bleedings, right? So it don't say nothing about they did some CPR, none of the stuff. He was pronounced dead at 4:03 p.m. The official cause of death are respiratory failure and cardiopulmonary arrest associated with multiple gunshot wounds. Wow. Right? Shakur's body was cremated the next day. Wow, that's messed up. Okay, so look at there. Now, do y'all notice something different here, right? What I notice is that all of the talk about the medical stuff and the police, and where's that at in here? It's missing, right? Ain't none of that up in there. They ain't talking nothing about how, none of that. Where is it at? Not even mentioned. Not even mentioned. Not even mentioned. So there's some serious conspiracy, some stuff happening here. Yeah. They think they're playing us for fools, y'all. They're playing us for fools. Janice says the death certificate is the only legal document that matters. If Shanquilla's family didn't dispute the death certificate, then nothing else should matter. Thank you, Janet. Yes, I totally agree. Kyrani says, right, not sure who or what is behind that website, but it's definitely not reputable. Yeah. See? And see how they trying to blend it up in there? Because most of the people trust this Wikipedia, right? Right? And you can see how Shanquilla's page ain't nothing like these other ones here. You see, they ain't talking none of that kind of stuff on there, right? No place where anybody could just edit. That's the clue. They letting you know that it's fake by putting all those edit buttons up there and saying that anybody could do it, right? Yeah, they cold-blooded, right? Lena says she was not a real doctor. They sent someone else. Yep. Hey, what's going on, Momi Phantoma? Nice to see you here again. See, Janet says, after that brutal attack, Shanquilla would have needed immediate medical attention. So I don't believe that she was alive at 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 p.m. without any medical attention. BS. Thank you. I agree. Sandra says, I read that medical center don't have good doctors. Tyler Perry assisted a married couple whose husband was ill and they refused his insurance and held him hostage until they got $15,000, $15K. All right. So Janet says, just how did Shanquilla get from the bedroom to the bathroom to the game room and finally to the living room without medical attention? Thank you. They just losing track of the stories that they're telling us. A doctor, Lena said, the doctor will do a assessment, then look into the eyes first to do medical treatment. Yeah, exactly. And at an initial assessment, when you do a head to toe, just looking to see the person's head flopped off of their neck and the swelling and the bruising, obviously some trauma done been here. You can't be in this position like this if something didn't happen. All right. Exactly, RN. That's exactly how it goes. Thank you so much. Says Betty says, IV drip on a dead person. Thank you. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. At Jens, I read she could have been moved around in the sheets that she was on in the hammock. Where did they get the hammock from? Because it don't show between the chairs in the room outside. Yeah. So we saw Shanquilla being attacked naked, and we saw her be slung onto the floor, her neck broken, and a spinal cord injury administered. We also have a video where the maid states she found Shanquilla in the same seated position we saw her land in on the video. So I'm not sure what you're talking about, Sandra, as far as some being moved in some sheets and all that stuff. We already ruled out that they ain't moved that body. Nobody didn't move Shanquilla. See, Janet says, so correct me if I'm wrong, but are they trying to say that the doctor was with Shanquilla Robinson for 3 hours without doing anything and then her condition worsened? That's just crazy. Yes, it is crazy. And that's exactly what they're expecting you to believe because they think you boo-boo the fool. Monsters. Exactly. I agree with you. Let's see. Betty says they were inexpensive, it seems to me. Inexperienced, seems to me. Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. All right. So I'm grateful that folks are still, here seeking just for Shanquilla Robinson. I'm gonna hit a few more of these off, and then, I guess we got to keep this up. We got to keep this up because we see how they trying to, taint and tarnish the Wikipedia, right? So, yeah. Kyrene says Shanquilla was gone by the time they called for help. I refuse to believe anything else. Thank you. Yep, exactly. Yep. Yeah, see, I'm glad that most people is feeling this. What you say here? They said it is so much cover up. I know. Sandra says that Janet in the chat. It was said Shanquilla was either drugged or unalived in the hammock. I think she was unalive. Kylie was singing over her and her phone was by her. I think it was staged. If she was gone in that hammock, first her body, you could tell. Like I said, there's a look. I'm not sure if you've been to even a funeral, when you see the person in the casket, you can totally tell that is a dead body and not somebody in there to sleep. It's a look. It's a lifeless look. And if Her dad is reporting that he saw the swelling to her head and facial injuries. They would have been visible at the time that we saw her in the hammock, right? I mean, because she got her face knee punched, kicked. Yeah. We would have saw that. She was asleep. That was prior. That's why he was getting excited, right? He's getting the crowd prepped. We got our first body. We got our first dead body. Body. Yeah. He was speaking that over her. This was the pre-show. Betty says, doing CPR on an unalive person. Betty says they had to get their lives together. Yes. And they did a poor job at it too. Karen says at Janet Jenkins, FBI told me what to list as cause of death. Oh, yeah. Janet Jenkins says, right at Karen. And did you hear early on after Mexico issued the warrant for Dejanay that they also issued subpoenas for the rest of them? I remember hearing that. Sandra says that Chiron, I agree. It's hard to pinpoint when she was unalive from the reports. Yeah. And that's why they making it all, swishy around like that so people can just get distracted and give up. Janet Jenkins says, I agree, Karen. And I think that's why the Emmy report stated that the police report word for word from Mexico and that the criminals said happened. Where they do that at. Yes, BS. I totally agree and support you on that there. Yeah, they've been lying to us, y'all. I'm so confused. I'm confused, yes. That's what they're trying to confuse you, Betty. Don't get confused. We're going to stick to the facts, math and science here. Sandra says, what doctors listen to citizens determining what a doctor should do? Thank you. Doctors only accept symptoms. Yep. And Lena says, I'm beginning to believe there was two sets of people, Cabo 6 and some crisis actors, two sets of Villa and two sets of doctors. That's just my opinion. That's why it's so much confusion. Yeah. They really doing a number on us. They trying to anyway. Karen says that, Janet, I sure did. There's something shady going on and started from the beginning. Has anyone ever found the truth about how they returned home? True. What's up, petty reviews and reactions? Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Appreciate you. Sandra says, I don't think the doctor worked on Shanquella at all. She saw she was unalive. Exactly. No one's working for 3.5 hours, right? Even, okay, you get to work and you get your report on your patient, right? And you come in there and they have had a cold brown, right? We call it cold brown, big old explosive poop, right? Big one, the cleanup time, right? It don't even take you 3 hours to do that. Or even if when we are coding people and stuff, we're not 3 hours, 3.5. No way. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. And even if someone is on the floor, like I told you, I worked in the ICU, right? So if someone is codes on the floor, when they call, they page the code blue and the code team goes there to respond, we are just getting them stabilized there. Like we'll probably intubate them at the bedside. We're getting them there. As soon as we get them intubated and going, we move into the ICU so we can be surrounded with all the equipment and stuff. Even though there's, some stuff at the crash car that we can, get the code going, but we're only getting them stabilized to get to the spot where we have all the equipment and stuff, right? And, it's not even uncommon that someone is riding on the gurney doing compressions while we're being pushed to the location where we can, have access to other things that we may need. So there's never a time that someone's going to feel comfortable working solo with a crashing patient and that you're administering CPR on, right? When someone crashes, trust me, you want people to come. You want to put the light on and call that code so you can be surrounded within seconds with people who are there to help, more trained people and stuff. And especially a doctor is not trying to be there doing an emergency if they're not emergency room physicians. Yeah, because, even the people that are working on different floors and different units, if they don't work in the emergency room or in the ICU, the chances are that they are not doing as much CPR as personnel who are working in those departments where people are, are needing that, right? So that means when one of their patients do crash, they want the team that do this all the time to come there. Nobody's saying, yeah, I'm just going to hang out here for 3.5 hours doing this on my own. I don't need no help. I don't need no help. Janet says, so the maid found Shanquella Robinson unresponsive in the bathroom and nobody did anything to help her. And then hours later, the doctor got there and did nothing for 3 hours. Come on, man, stop. I feel you. Betty says, hey, petty reviews and reaction. That's right. Welcome. We've never seen you here before. Janice says at Karen, that is a mystery too, because no one has a record of how they traveled back to the United States. Yeah. That's true, because I wonder if they could have drove and crossed the borders. If you can go to San Diego and go through Tijuana. I'm not sure. I should look at the map and see one day, y'all. But that's a good question, because you have to do certain things in order to get your tickets. Dates change and stuff like that, right? There's some, you can't just walk up there and be like, hey, my ticket's for tomorrow, but I want to go get, can I get on the next, some arrangements need to be made for that. Yeah. Good one. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't read this. Denithia says at Betty, the doctor said that she could not get an IV going. Shortly after, Shanquilla started seizing in convulsions. What surprised me is the concierge asked the doctor if it's serious. Doctor said no. Exactly, right? So if you can't get an IV on somebody, why are you still there? Why are you still out in the field? IV access is urgent, is needed, is mandatory. You can't get the access, so you're right. You just stand there. I don't see that. That's all fake. Denitha says, that is what I said earlier about the 1500. Yeah. Okay, I feel you on that. The discrepancy, right? Yeah. Sandy said, Adeline, I think someone else intervened as well in the cover-up to protect the villa. Yep, it's a lot of folks need their butts covered. Denithia says Shanquilla passed IMO more than 10 hours prior to what is in that report. Why is a doctor MIA? These are great questions. Great questions. Tamika says, RN, see if Elise's sister's death was edited. Okay. What's her sister's name? Did they have a Wikipedia on her sister? All right, let's see here. Lena says, edited means they don't have the whole story. They're adding as we go. Yep. And the need, but my thing is that it allowed me to edit. So if anybody can edit, right? Denethia says, it is said that they can't a plane to Dallas and drive from Dallas to North Carolina. Huh. All right, here we go at the end here. Jen says, but they call the doctor for a non-emergency. I know, they really telling on themselves the whole time here. So, all right, so we got through all the little stuff we wanted to get through for tonight. We still seeking justice for Shanquella Robinson. Thank all y'all for coming out and continuing to seek justice for Shanquella. What y'all saying down here? Let's see. Where was that said? That's how they traveled back. I don't know. Let's see here. Yes, the Lee's High sister died 16 hours before Shanquella Robinson was murdered. Oh yeah, I remember that because people were concerned about why did she go to this here trip after her sister, was just left. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's some serious cover up here, some serious stuff too. So, we gonna stay prayed up that we, no weapons formed against us is gonna prosper here while we continue to stand up for justice for Shanquella Robinson. Janice says, good job, RN. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Thank you so much. Good night, y'all. Love y'all and see y'all in another video soon. Soon and very soon.